So I think there's a lack of information that flows between students because they have no exposure towards what is insurance industry as running in India. It is not one-to-one or direct selling of any product. Until and unless somebody in India doesn't get up to buy an insurance, none of us would. As of now, nobody gets up in the morning excited saying, I want to buy an insurance today. People would come and say, oh, I want to buy a car today. I want to buy a bike today. I want to buy the latest iPhone today. But never ever they'll come and say, oh, I want to buy an insurance today. My account manager told my director that Sukant will be able to handle for 15, 17 days and I'm going on a leave.
Okay.
And the account manager then went on a leave and I stepped in usually. And these were US clients. So I was working the night and talking to them, figuring out projects, which I liked.
Okay.
Which I loved basically. So, and then the company asked me to be the account manager when he returned. And he was like, you took away my job. I said, no, I just took away one account. You've got 5 accounts, so I'll be able to handle one account. And that's when, and that account made a lot of money for my client, for my company.
Okay.
And that's when I realized that I would want to get into this. I like this more than coding.
Hi, Sukant. Such a pleasure meeting you after almost 11 years.
Thank you so much, sir, for calling, first of all. It's been a pleasure to get a call from you. You've been a mentor for a very long time and you have shaped a lot of people's future in ISBM while we were studying. So nobody can say no to you. Maximum of us can never say no to you. You've been a very, very helpful person in building a career of a lot of people like me. And to say to college, I am amazed the amount of changes that college and the area in the vicinity I'm seeing. I couldn't figure out the roads. I've been on those roads like 365 days, 2 years continuously. But today I was shocked the amount of development that the college and the vicinity has seen. And I still remember ISBM being the only college at some point of time here and the only things of building up. I think Sukant should give it to ISBM for building them up.
Absolutely. No. So one of the main reasons being, you see, if you have 3 colleges here, right? You have an MBA college and an engineering college as well as an undergraduate. All of them are filled to capacity, 100%. And that's one of the reasons why the student crowd has also gone up. There's a huge amount of activity going on in the campus. And that's why infrastructure changes were absolutely necessity. So that's why new faculty cabins and all that have come up. So I think this is the way forward. Going forward, maybe ISB&M will become a university in 2026, and that's what Pramod has been talking about.
No, it is.
So how has the career been shaping up for you? What I know that you took your campus placement in IFCO Tokyo.
IFCO Tokyo gave me a good knowledge of basically insurance. So understand, sir, insurance is no guy's first dream job to land up. But I was very focused because insurance was getting FDI. So as an MBA student, I took my classes very seriously to understand what is the sector that I want to get into. So FDI was coming in the insurance. I could see, okay, there are a fixed number of companies. The FDI will come. There will be good talent pool required. And that's how I thought of getting into IFCO Tokyo General Insurance. And that's why I came to you before my interview and took your guidance. So that helped a lot. I cracked my interview. So 2.5 years stayed with IFCO Tokyo and I learned the art of insurance, of what to sell and how to sell and what to write and not to write. And after that, I worked there for 2.5 years as a management trainee. I joined in, became the assistant manager there. And then I got the opportunity to come back to Pune with Bajaj Group, with Bajaj General Insurance. And nobody can say no back to Pune.
How do you see insurance industry going forward? Because there's so many plethora of insurance companies got jumped into it. You know, if you remember, how many, I lost count of the last number of companies that are there in insurance today.
So there are around about 24, 25 big general insurance companies that are leading in the market. Okay. Out of that, 5, there are 4 PSUs and other than private, there are 4 big private that are leading the
Where does
market.
Bajaj Alliance figure in?
So Bajaj is the biggest general insurance company in India, private. Right after New India, we stand right after New India, which is the biggest in the Indian market, and it's a private, a public organization, PSU, been there for hundreds of years now. So we take a lot of pride saying that yes, and to the fact we are the only profitable general insurance company in India right now.
With FDI coming in, do you see a lot of disruption happening in this space?
A lot of stuff. So FDI 100%. So FDI been there for 70 around 49% FDI was already there, but as you know, a large big corporate investor, they don't play small. They don't play half game. They always want to get into the full game with their own company, with their own performances, and that's how I think 100% FDI. There will be hundreds of companies coming in India in next 3 to 4 years. That's for sure.
You know, I see MBA students. You see, many insurance companies do come to the campus. But by and large, students are very wary of taking up a career, in particularly in life insurance or any insurance company. I do not know the reason why. Because I think maybe some of the practices they put, maybe there is a huge amount of competition that they feel. What is the reason you think that, look, if you have to advise students to look at insurance very seriously, how will you talk? What will be the kind of development that they can expect if they join the insurance industry?
So I think there's a lack of information that flows between students because they have no exposure towards what is insurance industry as running in India. It is not one-to-one or direct selling of any product, which usually what happens is somebody at an early age sees somebody come to your home as an agent and sell a policy to your father or your mother or your family members, and they understand, oh, this is insurance. You understand that is one part of insurance. Insurance is driven by distribution. Lakhs of agents, hundreds of banks, thousands of brokers, they all are selling your products. You have to manage all these people with a larger team.
Okay.
And I've been a sales guy, sir. I love one-to-one selling. And that's that's why I got into it. And then I understand it's a distribution-driven game. It's a very, very... So now you understand even selling ITC's product is a distribution game. You have hundreds of shops that you have to sell through. I have lakhs of agents and hundreds and thousands of brokers and people. They sell my product.
Okay.
I have to be on the top-notch apex place of my game with products and services. And that's why they will sell my product, wherein they have 24 other companies who can sell the product.
You are basically saying, well, it is a very target-driven and outcome-driven industry, but you are basically, the targets are all achieved by the agents and the people whom you manage. You basically manage your channel very well to achieve your targets. Is my understanding correct?
Sir, insurance, until and unless somebody in India doesn't get up to buy an insurance, none of us would. As of now, nobody gets up in the morning excited saying, I want to buy an insurance today. People would come and say, oh, I want to buy a car today. I want to buy a bike today. I want to buy the latest iPhone today. But never ever they'll come and say, oh, I want to buy an insurance today. Till time this is not happening in India, that somebody is looking for an insurance.
Okay.
It will always be a distribution-led business, a communication-led business, wherein you have to have communication with the customer to actually make an understand the need of that person so that they can buy the product.
I was reading a lot of research on trying to find out what do companies look for in people, when they want to hire MBAs from campuses. One thing that is very common, that I think 4 skills that stand out. Number 1, of course, is communication skills. Number 2 is leadership, ability to take responsibility, ability to take initiative without being told. And then problem solving. Almost every company that I met, Amazon, McKinsey, name it all, Apple, top companies in the world ask for problem solving skills, more importantly, strategic thinking. I feel that, look, if you have to measure, when you guys hire people, particularly freshers into the campus, how do you assess these kind of people? What are the most important skills that you look for when you are looking for people to join your industry, for that matter?
So what I basically look for is a new student is coming into corporate world. I want to understand his ability to learn, and is he there to give his 100% to learn that skill that I want to teach him.
You're talking about learning agility, which I think is a very, very important.
And being agile and not being stiff about, okay, this has to be done. Because I'm not there to make him learn and relearn and unlearn all these things. He is a fresh, new kid in the block, and I want to teach him the skills that is needed. Is he ready to learn that skill and give his 100%? That's what you need in the first 3 years from a student that has come into the corporate. And if he's showing all these traits, of being there, learning it, implementing it, and exploring and taking initiative to improve it. You get time to learn. Everybody, a good organization would give you a lot of time to learn and understand and implement, and will help you to get results. And I've seen 100% people delivering results if they are in this same state of mind and not doing any foolish thing. And good companies. Bajaj, I think, is one of the best brands I've been working. I've worked with Bajaj for now almost 8 years, and they have made me learn everything. Whenever I've asked for an opportunity to learn, I've been given it. Whenever I've asked for an opportunity to switch jobs and take a new opportunity or a challenge, I must say, they have never said no, saying that you are too young for it, or you have to build in something, or you have to get more information. They've always given me an opportunity, and that flows from top down. So if I go to my CEO today, so I went to him, asked for this vertical. When I said, "Sir, I want to learn this channel, this is a new market, this will build up into," and he being gracious enough, and he gave me this opportunity to lead that vertical.
I'm going to ask you two questions, very important. See, in my understanding, any student, even when he comes to the campus, when they come to the campus, they are completely transformed to a completely different world altogether, and where there's a lot of liberty, a huge amount of sense of responsibility that comes in. But here, I think some of them do go astray sometimes. So I think it's very important for them to self-management. Understand yourself. From your perspective, how did you manage yourself? When I talk about self-management, I'm talking about self-control, self-regulation, managing emotions. You went through a whole gamut of things in order to evolve and reach where you are right now. Can you take me through the journey of self-management, and what are the areas where you really face the challenge in managing self?
So, sir, I'm an engineer. I worked in IT industry after my engineering for 2.5 years, 3 years. And then I came to ISBM. So I had that kind of control, and I've been living alone and working. But then too, I think ISBM it's changed my personality altogether. It gave me a lot of freedom wherein I could have explored a lot of new territories. And I found, okay, this is wrong. I have to control over here, and I have to focus on my studies. I focus on extracurricular. I was, as you know, I was heading sporties also at point of time.
I remember that.
And I used to get into all those events and get sponsorships and coordinate.
You were very good in sponsorship. Yes, so I remember that.
I did a lot of it, and I think, and with education, this is just extracurricular. I think education that ISBM gives you, I have never sat down with a book and started rectifying it with all my faculty saying you have to finish this chapter. There was no communication of those lines. It was always case studies, a lot of discussion, a lot of presentation, understanding what is your thought pattern. Maybe it is new, learning from other thought, because everybody is presenting case studies. And you suddenly found, oh, this is very good. Why couldn't I think about it? And then you go back, understand those case studies. Philip Kotler was never a book. It was always life for us. We used to relate it to the case studies, come back to you with the presentations, and that's how ISBM built us up. It was never theoretical information, which unfortunately a lot of college I know follow. But at that point of time, 12 years back, a lot of case study. It was amazing. Even my IIM friends today I ask them, whenever we sit with them, are people in my team who are from ISB and IIM. And I now I understand where did and how did these curricula of case study came into picture, because you, PK sir, and all the other faculty were so involved with these guys that you could bring that information to us also. So I'm thankful to you, sir.
No, I think the very important part, education must always be with a purpose. The purpose is not to get to a degree granting. We are not a degree granting institution. So we are obviously a person who is interested in transforming students. Okay, that's the whole idea. The whole idea is if you can transform people, outcomes will come. That transformation will take place only when there is a dissonance created. When you give them the freedom to explore, open to a new experience. So you are open to a new experience. You are open to take everything that came your way, absorb things. And that's why the transformation. When you came to the campus, you did engineering, and then you took marketing. Today what's happening is, most students who come to take admission, the first question they ask, I don't know whether should I take MBA in marketing or finance or HR. This is a very standard question. Of course, I keep telling them that, listen, don't look at it from that perspective in the first place. When you come to do an MBA, you first learn business first. Learn business. Marketing, finance, HR, supply chain, they're all what you call various vertical arms of the same business. Once you come into the campus, you decide, if you find that, look, I would like to take up a career in HR or something like that. They say, no, HR is about people. I said, don't tell me that, look, marketing guys deal with, elephants and animals. Everybody ultimately deals with people. So I think it's not about whether you want to do. So how did you make the decision to do marketing after engineering?
When I joined my job after my engineering, I was coding one, and then slowly steadily I got into a account manager role. Thankfully, my account manager went on a leave, and I being very vocal about things and talking to a lot of people and talking to client at times with account manager. So my account manager told my director that Sukant will be able to handle for 15, 17 days, and I'm going on a leave.
Okay.
And the account manager then went on a leave, and I stepped in usually. And these were US clients, so I was working the night and talking to them, figuring out projects, which I liked,
Okay.
which I loved basically. So, and then the company asked me to be the account manager when he returned, and he was like, "You took away my job." I said, no, I just took away one account. We have got 5 accounts, so I'll be able to handle one account. And that's when, and that account made a lot of money for my client, for my company.
Okay.
And that's when I realized that I would want to get into this. I like this more than coding.
Okay.
And so I worked as an account manager for 1 year, and then I made a rational decision saying that I want to do my marketing MBA.
Okay.
And I was always very sorted in terms of what I wanted to do in life, in terms of my education. And after that, I figured out that insurance is also one of these courses predominantly being taught in our college, and I took insurance and risk management together. Understanding that yes,
Yeah, we had IRM as one of these particular.
A lot of information of FDI was flowing in for insurance, and I thought if I have marketing and insurance, this
Great
is
combination.
And dual specialization is not available.
Absolutely.
A lot of colleges. If I have the opportunity, why don't I go ahead and do it? Because see, your MBA is just not, as you said rightly, it's just not 4 lines of businesses. If you get into the top of, let's say in the middle management role also, you're doing finance, you're also doing HR, you're also doing marketing, you're also doing supply chain, and you're also doing a lot of things which are not taught in your education.
Very true.
And that's what business is exactly about. It's just not 4 subject lines or books. Business is different ballgame altogether. You have to learn, unlearn, and relearn every day. Every day, a new topic would come, a new problem would come. So HR will never tell you if tomorrow your best performer will tell you, okay, I'm leaving for a better job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you cannot stop me because they're paying me 2x.
You have worked for almost 11 years now, right? Since 2014. And being in one particular industry, insurance. So I think as a subject, your understanding of the insurance industry will be far superior to many people who make a lot of entry later. So maybe are you preparing yourself for a sort of a more strategic role as we go forward? Is that, do you think you're prepared better?
My seniors, when I look at my CEO, they are far beyond strategists. They rule the market. They make the market work to their tune, and they know how the market. So my CEO can tell me today what is happening in the market next year. He knows what is the number will happen, how it will happen, and he's already preparing for 2 years down the line business. He knows what is happening this year. 25, he's already sorted it out. What will happen? What is the business that we're going to do? What is the profit that Bajaj is going to make? And that shocks me to my core. I cannot even think about 2 months in a row that what will happen to my PNL for in next 2 months. And this guy sitting right in front of me and human can make decisions for he's already sorted next 2 years for himself.
Okay.
The business. That's when you say you are a strategist. You can't be a strategist sitting.
I think so. Ultimately, success in any business is about you cannot predict your future, but you can create your future. So these people actually create their future based on their own understanding of how the industry is going to move.
Exactly.
So that I think is the very important
that comes from working in that particular segment for years now, and then ruling that segment, and then making that segment move according to your game.
Okay.
So that's a strategist, right? So that's what you have told us and what you have taught us. That is a strategist who can make things move around in the market according to him. So you have to have that kind of information and knowledge. Till today, I cannot call myself a strategist.
Yeah.
Even though I know a lot of product, I know what is business, what is loss making, what is profit making, where to do business, which area to do, which area not to touch. I know all these things, but strategy, no. I still know how to get business. And I'm getting because somebody has strategized this line of business.
Okay.
So maybe another 5, 7, 10 years. Because these guys have been 30 years, 35 years in the industry.
Now, strategy to a long section is also about problem solving skills, ability to what you call be able to anticipate a problem.
Yeah.
Even before it comes, even before it occurs.
Exactly.
That's what top managers do, isn't it?
Exactly.
So that's the reason why most companies today, or also companies look for people who can think differently.
Right.
Is Sukant Goel and X and Y and Z, are they all different people with different mindsets and different approach to the same problem? That is what I think is very important. I think very important for an MBA student to have an independent mind of his own, picking things as and when as it comes, and be ability to put them all together and develop his own understanding of the business. Is my understanding correct?
Very correct. And speak about it.
And speak about it.
And speak about it. Because I've seen a lot of very talented guys, I'm saying in the college and also in the organizations and also in my partners list when I've worked with, but they don't speak a lot. Then you have people who can speak for them in the organizations. And that's when you say, oh, I've done this and he took my credit. Either better you start speaking about and take the credit, otherwise the product's gonna be lying there, nobody's gonna speak about it. So I think what we also been taught is when we started giving presentations in the college, a lot of us, I think none of my peers in the college who've been doing good ever had a problem with not speaking in the organization, because we were very vocal in the college. We've been pushed to speak in front of hundreds of people, give our ideas, give our presentations, and we've been told, now you have to speak. Now you have to tell us about what are you presenting. None of us nobody can in the college just sit idle and...
So overall, you're saying that, look, ISBM has been a great experience for you.
It's been a great experience. I loved every day in ISBM. It took a lot of things in 2 years of my life. I couldn't go for my mother's 60th birthday while I was here giving my interviews for my GD.
I know.
So I still missed a lot of things in my life.
Okay.
But my but a lot of things missed, but every day cherished to the core.
As far as the student who's coming to do an MBA, because I interview a lot of students, admission interviews. I do conduct a lot of admission interviews. I see students coming up with some preconceived notions about many things. And not only preconceived notions, they tend to, for example, I met a student somewhere in Raipur, where a student was almost 8 years. She was actually trying to get into an IAS. She's writing for an UPSC exam. She was already 27, 28, and when nothing succeeded, she came to she said, "Nuga, now I want to do MBA." So I was saying that, look, why did you not exercise your own mind? Because I think today's world, where there's a huge amount of information available to you, you have carrying the world in your pockets with your smartphone. All that you need to do is support research and trying to understand and assimilate information and make your own choices, right? So ultimately, life is about making a choice, whether it is in education, whether it is getting married. So if you don't make the right choice, you can always change your choices, right? So, well, you can get into an MBA engineering program, or you get into and then say, hey, this is not for me. I want to get out of this, right? And then make this. And so this is not what I'm enjoying. You must enjoy what you do. Don't come to an MBA program because there is scope for a job there. Don't come and do an MBA because you get a job. Come to do an MBA because you want to manage business. You are passionate about business. You're passionate about managing people. You're passionate about managing difficult situations, managing difficult people. I'm very sure about one thing. When Sukant talks about managing and whatever the way in which he has risen in his own career, one of the biggest success for people is they learn how to manage difficult situations and manage difficult people. This is the fundamental to recall. So the whole idea is to recall MBA is not about a piece of paper or a degree. You learn to manage business, you learn to manage people, you learn interpersonal skills. How do I get around this guy and get my things done? Very important. Because that's what it is. That's ultimately that's what he said was simply that. He said that, look, I manage things means what? I know what I want and I know how to get it. That's what an MBA should teach you. You make you smart.